Thanks for joining us at 5900 Wilshire, which is the name of this show, and the home of 100.3, the sound of Southern California. Thanks for joining us at 5900 Wilshire, which is the name of this show, and the home of 100.3, the sound of Southern California. I'm Tina Mika with you, and we talk to people who are doing great things in the community, and our guest right now is from Lawry's, the Prime Rib. It's Richard Frank. He's the CEO and the board chair of a very special organization, AbilityFirst, and you have a strong partnership actually, with AbilityFirst. You're going to tell us about the history of it, would you? And then talk to us about Lawry's, the Prime Rib.
Happy to. Both Lawry's and AbilityFirst share common roots from the standpoint that my grandfather, Lawrence Frank, was one of the founders of both organizations. In 1925, my grandfather, who was a Rotarian here in Los Angeles, went to Chicago with a group of 5 other Rotarians for a Rotary International Convention and saw an organization in Chicago that was helping polio victims. And they thought, wow, we should have something like this in Los Angeles. So they came home, and in 1926, they founded what was then the Crippled Children's Society of Southern California. And their initial clientele was victims of polio. And as the polio epidemic died out, it became people with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, and the needs have changed. Today, many of the clients have various levels of autism, but both originally it was children, but now it's children and adults. And my grandfather, not only did he found the Crippled Children's Society with some others, he essentially stayed on and ran the organization for about 20 years until the mid-1940s. After that, my father got involved somewhere and along the line, and my dad was active on the Crippled Children's Board, and in around 1970, he helped raise money to build a building in Pasadena that's got my grandfather's name on it, that it's been in service now for 40 years, and it's as busy and active as ever. So I got involved because they asked me to be involved, and I looked at the organization. Sure, I looked a little bit at the family legacy of involvement, but more than that, I looked at the organization and their mission and what they do and said, this is something that I can be supportive of and really want to encourage. So that was one thing my grandfather did. The other thing was he and a brother-in-law in 1938 founded Lawry's, the Prime Rib, on La Cienega Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And my family's been involved with that ever since, and we're about to celebrate our 75th anniversary.
I wonder if we could go over some of the programs at AbilityFirst. It's a place where you go there to play, the adults and kids, to also to work and to learn. And you have a camp, like this famous camp in the mountains, almost like a resort, but you really can learn so many different things there.
I'll finish with camp because I think Camp Pivika is one of the best parts of AbilityFirst. But AbilityFirst serves children and adults with disabilities, both physical disabilities and mental disabilities. They've got at least a half a dozen locations in Southern California, from Pasadena to Claremont to Woodland Hills to Long Beach, Inglewood, all the way down into Anaheim and Orange County. We've got programs for after-school programs for kids, adult programs during the day. And some of the programs even involve, they'll do a Friday night social, they'll do field trips. They're trying to give these kids absolutely the most normal social life they possibly can. The adult programs range from similar programs to work programs and supported employment in the community. And they've got 3 work centers, one in Woodland Hills, one in Pasadena, and one in downtown Los Angeles. And depending upon a client's level of skill, they place them in different types of work, doing small assembly, packaging, jobs that you or I might not want to tackle, but for their clients, they're very fulfilling. Right. And they've got a great routine. They come into work every day. In supported employment, they're actually working out in businesses, in the community, and that's a growing part of the business. AbilityFirst has a mobile shredding program. They will come, we're clients of theirs. They'll come to our office when we call them, and any document shredding that we need, they'll come pick it up and have their clients do the work for us.
It's a mobile unit, and you go to the businesses and you take care of all the document shredding. They'll take care of it, and you don't have to worry about it after that. It's
secure.
Done, right?
It's secure shredding. It provides gainful employment. So it's a really nice service in the community. To me, though, one of the most fulfilling things that AbilityFirst does is their Camp Pivika up in Crestline. And Camp Pivika celebrated its 65th anniversary last year. It's been around since, that would make it, 1947. And it's summer camp. It is absolutely regular summer camp for campers. They range from 12 to age 60. And camp sessions are anywhere from 4 days to, I think, 8 days. And you do everything that anybody does at summer camp: horseback riding, swimming, arts and crafts, sing around the campfire.
I think I saw archery in there.
Archery, that might make me a little nervous. What is amazing, though, is it's a regular camp experience, but these are campers who have special needs.
Right.
And sometimes, and this is something I didn't realize till it was explained to me a few years ago, there are campers who need one-to-one camper counselor camper care. And it's not like, one counselor for every 12 campers. It's oftentimes one counselor per camper for just meeting basic needs. And the amount of effort and care and what goes into creating a camp experience for a camper is just amazing, on the one hand. On the other hand, the respite that it gives for that camper's family during that week when they're at camp is huge. The first time a family has their child or family member go to camp, there can be a lot of separation anxiety, but when that individual comes back from camp excited and fired up and happy to have been at camp, it's a really rewarding experience.
It sort of re-energizes the family, I guess.
It really does.
Gets them, ready for the year ahead, and it's such a beautiful place too. It's in Crestline, right?
It's in Crestline. Yeah. It's got a great view of the whole LA basin, and I was just up there for the 65th anniversary last summer. Camp is planning a new swimming pool. The pool is essentially 65 years old and needs replacement. So we're raising money for a new pool. I think we've just gotten Forest Service approval, which was the big hurdle because it's on Forest Service land. Right. So we're going to be building a new pool, and that will just improve the experience that much more.
It's got to be a really great experience because I understand that people will come back for years. They'll come back to the camp every year for like 15, 20 years. They come back to camp.
There are campers that are ages 40, 50 and up.
Yeah.
And they just can't wait to get back to camp every summer.
I'm impressed at the different things that you can learn at this camp.
It's summer camp. You or I,
it really
I'd
is.
love to go back to summer camp myself.
Yeah. Well, you can. You can go up there too,
That's
right?
True.
This is 5900 Wilshire, 100.3 The Sound. We are talking to Richard Frank, who is the CEO of Lawry's The Prime Rib, and also he's the board chair of AbilityFirst. You also have events that come up, like the Stroll and Roll campaign that helps support AbilityFirst throughout the year.
The AbilityFirst Stroll and Roll, which was a couple of weeks ago, is our one agency-wide event that every center participates in. This year it was held on the back lot at Universal Studios. I think we had somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 participants come out and walk on a Saturday morning. I had never walked the back lot at Universal, and that was great fun. We had a goal of raising $500,000 in donations, and if we hit that goal, we had a partial matching gift from the AS&F Foundation of another $75,000. And I heard earlier this week that we had hit the $500,000 mark. So right now we're at $575,000, pushing $600,000. So it will have been our most successful fundraising event ever.
That's one of the ways that people can help. You have ways that you can help. AbilityFirst, you can donate. Also, the lunch that's coming up, that's going to help too. You won't find a lunch or dinner for this type of price, I don't think, anywhere really. I mean, this is just an amazing price that you have coming up to benefit AbilityFirst. So if we can talk about that a little bit on June 11th.
On June 11th, Lawry's The Prime Rib, in honor of our 75th anniversary, we will from 11 to 3 for the first 1,000 guests. We'll do a price rollback, and those first 1,000 guests will get our Lawry's The Prime Rib dinner, the full meal, for the $19.38 price of $1.25.
Wow. Okay.
Beverages will be extra.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great deal for that group of guests. And all of the proceeds from that event, we will contribute and donate to AbilityFirst. So hopefully they'll have something to drink with their $1.25 meal.
Oh, sure.
And we'd be happy if they want to donate some of their savings to AbilityFirst as an extra gesture.
It's for the first 1,000 guests, and so you want to get there between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. It's a first-come, first-served basis, so getting there earlier would be better.
This is something we didn't do the tie-in with AbilityFirst 25 years ago, but we did do a price rollback for our 50th anniversary, and we were pretty surprised at how the word had gotten out, and there was a crowd lining up the street.
Well, it's getting out now. I have a feeling you'll have a little bit of a line. Yeah.
We might have a line.
This is so creative, too, the way that you guys have been able to promote and market AbilityFirst to get people's attention, to introduce people to it. What else would you like to get to today when talking about AbilityFirst?
I think certainly one of the challenges for AbilityFirst is the fact that it is largely government supported by the state of California. And
funding is tight right now, too, I think. Yeah.
Is tight and has gotten tighter.
Right.
And as much as we try to go to Sacramento and lobby for support, AbilityFirst is a part of a small association that doesn't have a lot of resources. The disabled community doesn't have enough of a voice in Sacramento. We're not like the employees' unions who can marshal 500 people on a moment's notice.
Right.
So it's hard to get heard, and we have seen our rates, what we get paid for services, frozen for the last 5 years. And in fact, 3 years ago, we lost all funding from the state of California for the camp. And we've had to go from a supported, funded model entirely to a private pay model, which we think long-term will work.
Sure, but that's tough at first, though,
but
right?
Initially, it was a "who moved my cheese" kind of moment.
Yeah,
and we had to sit there and say, "Well, how are we going to close the camp? How do we keep running it?" And have transitioned fairly successfully to a for-pay model. Funding at the state level is a challenge. AbilityFirst is fortunate as an organization of its size. It's on a strong financial footing, and that's one of the things that I look at, given my family's 80-some year involvement with the organization. Well, I want to make sure that the organization is going to be around for another 80-some years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the need in the community is not going to go away.
Right.
There will always be people with disabilities that need help and need support and need services. So I want to see that the organization is there for a long time to come.
Well, you guys have done a fabulous job. Thank you for joining us today and talking to us about this. AbilityFirst sounds like a great organization. And
it is a great organization. Thank you for having me. I'm always delighted to talk about it. It's something I'm passionate about and I'm really supportive of.
What's the website? Just one.
AbilityFirst.org is their website.
Okay, perfect. We've been talking to Richard Frank. He's the CEO of Lawry's, the Prime Rib, and also the board chair for AbilityFirst, and a lot more involved than the board chair. His family involved over the years, over decades with AbilityFirst. Thanks.